Welcome to the course on training and development. Today is the first session of this course where we are going to have an introduction on the course of training and development. In today's lecture, we are going to learn about the concepts of employees and the training and the concept of development. It is very important for us to understand who the employees are, what an organization is, what is the importance of training and development in the employee's life cycle in the organization. So today's lecture, we are going to focus on the introduction to these concepts. Let us proceed. Now, what is an organization? We have heard the terms organization, organization development, organization maybe excellence, training in organizations. But what is an organization? Why it is formed? Who forms that organization? Let us see. The organization, the term, has been defined in various ways by different people. It is like sometimes it has been defined as a process, sometimes as a structure of relationship, as a group of persons, and as an open dynamic system, and so on. First, we'll go through each of these definitions because it is the way of looking at the organization from different perspectives, and each one of them is very important. So let us begin. So we can tell of organization as is the process of identifying and grouping work to be performed, defining and delegating responsibilities and authority, and establishing relationships for the purpose of enabling people to work mostly effectively together in accomplishing the objectives of the organization. So working together for a purpose, these are very important terms and very important requirements of an organization in order to perform in a team. And we can tell organization is a process of identifying like who are the correct people who can work together, how to group them together so that, and how to delegate responsibilities to them so that they can perform the work in a better way. It is also, organization is also the process of combining work which the individuals or groups have to perform with the facilities necessary for its execution. So again, we can tell organization is also, we are grouping the work together which people can perform together, which individuals and groups can perform together. And it is not only grouping the work together, but we'll also facilitate the process and give the facilities which are necessary for its execution so that the duties so performed provide the best channels for the efficient, systematic, positive, and coordinated application of the available effort. The words systematic, positive, coordinated application are very important. Efficient applications are very important so that we can understand there is a rhythm, there is a synchronization, there is a harmony, not only in the work that the people are doing together, but also among the people who are working together. Now, if this is an organization where we are talking of organization not only as a structure where people join to reach a particular goal, which is the goal of the organization and also that of the individual's goal when it gets reflected in the organization. But we are also looking at the organization as a process of bringing people together and also delegating responsibilities, bringing the work together, bringing the facilities together so that they can perform well and move towards the reaching an excellence point, not only for themselves but also for the holistic purpose of the organization. Now, if this is what we define to be organization as the process of organization. Then who are the employees? The employees are the biggest assets or the true assets of an organization. Because if you go by the definition that we have seen through in the organization, whether it is a structure which is formed to achieve certain goal, or it is the process, we always focus on process of like bringing people together, delegating responsibilities amongst the people, divide or bringing work together which individuals and like groups can do together. So we are always mentioning about like the employees, and it is the purpose of the organization so that to bring employees together, facilitate them in a way such that they are able to contribute effectively to the successful functioning of an organization. Employees are the people who strive hard to deliver their level best and achieve the assigned targets within the stipulated time frame. The employee is a person who is paid to work for an organization or for another person. So, of course, there is a monetary relationship as a part of the employment contract, but again, beyond that is also a psychological contract and also a responsibility, the ownership generally, gradually, which the employees develop, the love and respect, the relationship that the employees develop towards the organization, which helps them, which motivates them to strive hard to deliver their level best and achieve the assigned targets within the stipulated time frame, so that there is their personal growth also, and along with that the growth of the organization also. Now, if we go by the definition of who are the employees according to the section 2F of the Indian Employees Provident Fund Act, it states that employee means any person who is employed for wages in any kind of work, manual or otherwise, in or in connection with the work of an establishment, and who gets his wages directly or indirectly from the employer, and includes any person employed by or through a contractor in or in connection with the work of the establishment, engaged as an apprentice, not being an apprentice engaged under the Apprentice Act 1961 or under the standing orders of the establishment. We can also see employees as the individuals who are hired by a person or a business to perform a work for the person or a business, also referred to as the employer. It is stated that the individuals are considered employees if the employer can control the work performed. Additional factors that make someone as employee include the person is on the payroll and receives a specific salary or wage. The individual is eligible for benefits and other perks offered by the employer. A written or implied contract of employment. The person is protected by law in terms of wages and employment rights. And these are the various types of employees that we have in the organization: full-time employees, part-time employees, seasonal employees, temporary employees, daily hire or weekly hire, apprentices, and training. Now, if we are talking of employees according to the legal definitions given, and we have classified employees based on the different categories that are present in the organization, you may be thinking of like why we are discussing this, like who are employees according to this legal definition in a course where we are going to discuss on training and development. This is just to start with the make us understand about like who the employees are, and do we stick to that definition as defined by law, like who employees are, or we extend our perspective, our definition to a employee who is not only the legal definitions or the basic definitions, the start point of the relationship, but we extend the definition to an employer-employee relationship where the employee is not only the person as defined by the laws and who works for certain wages, and the employer's responsibility extends towards only paying the wages to the employees with respect to the work done by that person in the organization or in return for the work done by the person for the organization. But the relationship, the responsibility of the employer and the employee may extend much beyond this definition, where the defining factor is the wage and the salary that you get, and it extends towards development of the competencies of the person, help the person learn the skills, help the person grow within the organization, facilitate the person's development of the person's development and also the development of the group, the team who works together towards achieving the goals of the organization. So no longer the employer-employee relationship should be bound by only the definition of the exchange process of I do something for the organization, and in exchange of that I'm getting the salary at the end of the month. The definition does not restrict to that, but it extends towards a further holistic relationship, very intricate relationship, where each one is concerned, the employer and the employee, both are concerned about the development and growth of each other. And when the employer is concerned, is really careful about the growth and development of the employees so that they can contribute towards the growth of the organization, towards the purpose of the organization in an efficient and an effective way. What we think of next is learning process in the organization. And the training is one of those learning processes. Training and development are the learning processes facilitated by the organizations and also sometimes self-initiated by the employees in the organization, so that they can increase their knowledge base, their skill set, and make themselves more competent, more enough contributory towards the purpose of the organizations, to meet the deliverables of the organization, and also for growth of one's own individual growth. So in that perspective, we'll now discuss about what is training. So training refers to teaching an employee new skills to help them improve their job performance and work more efficiently. A few examples of employee training programs might include company-wide training on using new work management software, department training on how to use new machinery to increase productivity, individual training on how to bill and invoice clients for a new hire. So these are some examples of training that people may come through in an organization. Now, whenever we are talking of training and whenever we are talking of development, there is a subtle difference between these terms. So whenever we are talking of development, it is a broader concept which refers to the improvement of the existing skills. A few common ways in which companies invest in employee development might include hosting a workshop for interpersonal communication, hiring a consultant to address weaknesses in workflow and interdepartmental communication, offering one-to-one mentorship for rising stars and future company leaders. So, if we just see what is the difference between a training and development, so a training is very skill specific, and it is only related to the specific internal company goals or for certain skills relevant to the organization or for just doing the job that is we are supposed to do. But whenever we are talking of development, it is a broad concept which has which extends maybe outside the company also, and can include not only the trade specific skills that we learn in training, the skills which are required to do the job which is there at hand in a better way, but it may include general skills which will help us grow as an individual, as a better performer, like communication, leadership, and project management. So when we get some exposure on these kind of topics like communication, leadership, and project management, which may or may not be the direct skills required for the exact job that we are doing, but which are more generic in nature, then we are talking these things. These are leading to the development of the employee as a person as such. So whenever we are using now these two terms, training and development together, of course then we are focusing towards some learning initiatives, to some educational activities within the company which are created to enhance the knowledge and skills of the employees while providing information and instruction on how to perform better in specific areas. So we can understand, like, when we think like the employees are not just like machine who are going to give us output because we are just giving them input of money, and we are thinking them as human beings who have intelligence, who have capabilities to develop, who have capabilities to perform in a better way, then we are thinking of improving them with the help of educational activities which will help them to nurture their capabilities and their skills. So in that context only training and development comes in. So whenever we are talking of training and development, so it is an education activity, and it refers to the training generally refers to the process of imparting specific skills required for standard performance, while development refers to the learning opportunities and designed to help employees grow. And also whenever we are talking of education, these are theoretical learning like sessions taken by experts in classroom situation to enhance the overall knowledge of the employees, which may be related to the job which the person is going to do, which may be general situations or something connected to it, which may help him to perform in a better way later on. But it is a learning which is given in the classroom situation. So employee training, if we can just summarize about it, is a process to enhance the technical skill of the employee. It is a process to enhance the technical skill of the employee to help improve employees' knowledge for a specific job and a task, a short-term process to gain immediate results. Employee development is a process to enhance soft skills like leadership, attitude, communication, and thought processes, a tool to help employees get a broad perspective for their future growth, and it is a long process to make the workforce future-proof and create a way for continuous growth for both organization and the employees. So development, we understand has a long-term perspective and a generic perspective in nature. Now, there could be various types of employees training and development. So, whenever we are talking of technical training, it is a type of training meant to teach the new employees the technological aspects of the job. Quality training, it refers to familiarizing employees with the means of preventing, detecting, and eliminating non-quality items, usually in an organization that produces a product. Skills training, it includes proficiency needed to actually perform the job. Soft skills training, it is the personality traits, social graces, communication, and personal habits that are used to characterize relationship with other people. Professional training is a type of training required to be up to date in its own professional field. So we can have different kinds of training from technical to quality, skills training, soft skills and professional training, each having its own objective to fulfill. So different kinds of trainings that are provided by the employees could be a whole list of training like profession or industry specific training, managerial and supervisory training, processes, procedures and business practices training, like mandatory rules and regulations and compliances, training regarding that, then IT and systems training, customer service, then new employee orientation, basic skills training, interpersonal skills, product knowledge, executive development, and something related to the quality controls. And so there are so many other topics also, office management, how to make a good presentation, then business etiquette. You can think of any topic which helps you to perform either your job in a better way or to deal with your customers in a better way, to deal with your peers in a better way, can be a topic of training. Now, what is the importance of leadership in organizational management? We can go for leadership training and development also. The importance of leadership is very important in the sense because whenever we are talking of training and development of an employee, it is the leader who has to initiate that, who has to find out also if the employee requires a training, how to align it with the goals of the organization, how to see what is the need of the department, how to see in which area, specific area, the employee needs the particular training, and to match it with the organizational needs, the departmental needs, and the employees' needs, which we'll see in the strategic training and development when we'll be discussing on this. So leader really plays a very, very important role in training need analysis and influencing the behavior of the people in understanding how do they perform, why are they performing in certain way, why are they behaving in certain way, and what aspects they need a training, and if they are going for a training, what should be the outcome of that training, and what should be the deliverables after they come back from the training program, what should be the expectations from the persons who really go for training, and how do you want to see the implementations of those things in the after they come back in the job situation. So the leadership really plays a very important role as a facilitator in the whole process, from initiating towards and then execution and implementation of the training program. So we can see the importance of the leadership lies in influencing the behavior of the people, helping employee to fulfill their needs by choosing the correct training program that they are aiming for, introducing the required changes, like if they're going for training, then how to bring in those behavioral changes or the changes in the skill sets, then solving conflicts effectively, then the training and development of subordinates to large extent definitely depends on the leadership, because they have to say yes to it. So they have to allow people to go for training and development. So that is very important. Then setting a clear vision, motivating and guiding employees to uh, get committed to learning something and building a morale. So all these are very important functions of leadership, and to get these qualities within oneself as a leader, one may require to go for a leadership training also. Now, if we have to summarize about what is the business role of training and development and why it is important, that what you can see from this picture is that learning can be happening in three ways, like the formal training and employee development is done by the organization. Informal learning, which are like self motivated learning by the learners, self-motivated learning by the learners, where they are taking certain courses and enriching their knowledge, and proper knowledge management system in the organization, where like knowledge management of like what people are learning in the training program, how they are like sharing that knowledge with the others which is present, who are present in the organization, how it is getting assimilated in the system, and how the whatever you learn from the training program, how it is integrated with the organization system and implemented. So that is the domain of knowledge management. Now, if all of these three functions together, then it leads to proper learning and developing of the human capital. We no longer see that employees as employees who are getting wages and that's why they are working, or they're working for wages, but they are really assets and they are the human capital. So we will be like proud to invest in them. It is not that like they are working and we are paying them wages. That mindset changes to like we are investing in people because they are a storehouse of knowledge. They are the human capital, and these capital can, if like aligned properly with the goals of the organization and developed properly through these different training programs, learning and knowledge management, can lead to performance improvement and reach the business goals. So we'll try to see each of these definitions very quickly before we come to the closure of this discussion. So learning refers to employee acquiring knowledge, skills, competencies, attitudes, or behaviors. The focus of training and development is not just employee learning for its own sake, but it needs to demonstrate how it contributes to the company's competitive advantage. This is very important. Learning with a purpose for own development as well as for the organization's development through improving employee performance. From the organization's perspective, what the employees learn contributes to the development of the intangible assets such as human capital. Now, whenever we are talking of human capital, because this is very important that we know the definition over here now, because this word is going to come back again and again in the future discussions of our course. So it refers to the knowledge, know what, advanced skills, know how, and system understanding and creativity, know why, and motivation to deliver high quality products and services, care why. The concept of human capital recognizes that not all labor is equal, but employers can improve the quality of the capital by investing in employees. This can be done through the education, experience, and abilities of the employees. So from the shift of idea perspective, like we are paying wages for what they are contributing towards the organization, Here, the organization is investing in the employee in terms of education, experience, and abilities so that they are able to nurture themselves and contribute in a better way to the purpose of the organization. Knowledge management, it is described as the process of enhancing company performance by designing and implementing tools, processes, systems, structures, and cultures to improve the creation, sharing, and the use of knowledge. So, as we are discussing, it is not only like the training that you get and come back, but how it is assimilated within the organization system, how it is shared with others, and how new knowledge is created out of whatever you learn through training program or through your day-to-day experiences while you are there in your field of working. That talks of knowledge management and is also an important contributory source of learning and developing human capital. Formal training and employee development are the formal courses, programs, and events which are developed and organized by the company or the corporate houses. In all these, employees are required to attend or to complete, which can include the face-to-face training programs such as instructor-led courses as well as the online programs. Informal learning is referred to that learning which is learner-initiated, involves action and doing, is motivated by an intent to develop and does not occur in a formal learning setup. It is occurred without a trainer or an instructor, and its breadth, depth, and timing are controlled by the employees. So, it is a self-paced learning by the employees, initiated by the employees because they know where they need a training to develop on, and it is a self-initiated by the employees so that they can learn something to develop their own capabilities and let them grow as a person who can contribute in a better way to the organization, be present organization, or become ready for future any other roles that they need to take up. The forces that are influencing for working and learning include, of course, these are economic cycles, globalization, increased value placed on intangible assets and human capital, focus on linking to business strategy, changing demographics and diversity of the workforce, talent management, customer services and quality emphasize, new technology, high performance work system. These are certain forces within the organization, outside the organization, factors present maybe within the employees also, like as we talked of self-paced learning, employees' own search for learning certain things. These are factors present within the employee. So these are certain factors which like influences like whether I should proceed for learning new things, new skills, new ways of doing things, learning new concepts and enriching oneself. Whether the employees voluntarily moves for it or it is directed by the organization wants its employees to develop. So it is actually a both way influence. Organization realizes and can help its employee to grow. Employee realizes that they need some extra knowledge, learning to develop as a person to contribute better in the present and the future role. So that could be a call from within also. And if both these two things come together, it goes for a very effective training and development process. So with this, we conclude this introductory session where we have learned about the concepts of who is employee, how the definition of employee has shifted from just being working for the sake of wage to extending the responsibility of the employer as not only as a like entity who pays the wage and is happy with the employee just working in lieu of that wage, but also extends its responsibility to enrich the knowledge base of the employee and make them more efficient, effective, through the learning processes, formal training and development processes, so they become more equipped enough to answer to the work role in an efficient way, and they can work together as a group. As a result, the employees develop and also the organizations develop. It is also an employee's realization from within, yes, I need to do something better. Yes, I need to learn something in a better way so that I become a better person. I become a better individual who can contribute in a better way towards the organization and also enrich my competency. So it is a both way understanding of the importance of learning for growth of both the entities, the organization and the individuals together. Thank you for this session. We'll meet in the next session with the topic on employer-employee relationship. Thank you.